Do you want to know my view and opinions? Únete a mi canal de WhatsApp. Where are you from?
I'm from Switzerland.
Canada.
From Germany.
We're from Belgium.
Canada as well.
Canada, but Quebec, the French part of Canada.
Portugal.
De acá de Perú.
Okay, one question. What is the most important thing that you learned at school? Could be high school or elementary school.
I would say, I guess, about history.
History.
History?
Why history?
Because I think it's important to understand where we're coming from as a society. And yeah, I'll say this.
I think, in my opinion, it has to be like learning how to learn. I think our entire lives, we are, at least in this world, kind of a world that's ever changing, forced to learn constantly new things. And when you're in high school, you get a lot of, I suppose, different pathologies of learning thrown at you, right? You have a bunch of different classes that try to kind of give you a way of thinking. And by doing that, you get 4 years of being able to adopt a new way of thinking, being able to adopt a new way of looking at information, right, perceiving it. So I think that it's learning how to learn in very different ways.
Thing I learned at elementary school. You caught me off guard here. I don't really have an answer right now.
One thing that
Probably a language, because I went to school in a language that was not mine. So I learned to speak Dutch. Well, I'm native French speaker, but I learned to speak Dutch at school. Probably that's the most important thing I learned at school.
you learn English there as well.
No, I learned English along the way.
So how many languages did you learn at school, at high school?
At high school, well, basically two, yes. English a little bit, a few lessons, and then Dutch, which I spoke from my primary school years.
How many languages do they, well, the requirements, how many languages do they ask for? 4, maybe 5?
No, 3. French, English, and Dutch. That was back in Belgium in the 90s.
It's more like at university, like more like psychologist way. Definitely, I read some few books about Sigmund Freud, Carl Gustav Jung. I try to remember the name, Erickson or Carl Rogers. It's like nice, but the main, for me, like the thing I learned pretty well in university is like to open your mind, try to focus, try to read more, because before university I didn't pay attention to read too much, to read some philosophy. For me, I was thinking at the beginning was like some boring stuff. And when I start to read a little bit more and to think a little bit more, try to understand, go a little bit outside of the box, because sometimes university is nice to learn.
So you prefer, well, for you, it was better at university than...
For me, it's not meaning, because I know like it's depend with each person. But for me, when I was in university, was a good moment to explore myself, to learn, to improve my knowledge. Because before that, I was like a little bit like a little kid of my mindset, just doing snowboarding. It's fun, but it's not enough. Life is not only happiness and doing sports. You have to learn something. You have to learn about politics, geopolitical. Of course, really my bad. I'm not good to explain that in English.
I don't know. Maybe math. I don't know.
El ser constante.
Los profesores te enseñaron a ser constante.
Claro.
¿Cómo describirías el ser constante? ¿En qué aspectos de la vida? ¿En todo aspecto?
O sea, en el sentido de que cuando quieres hacer algo, no porque no te salga dejar de hacerlo, sino seguir intentándolo hasta que te salga.
It got you ready for the real world, for this real world.
I think it's a very open-ended question, right? To say kind of ready or not ready for the real world. Obviously, again, I think that the real world is very different from obviously what we have in the classroom, but I think that having this, I don't know, a fundamental base that kind of gives you an understanding of maybe how to approach things is not just helpful but needed. Also, I think you can reform stuff, but yes, overall.
Not really, but I think it helps me to understand why we are the way we are now as a society. But yeah, I think that is like probably one of the only thing that school actually taught me.
What are the skills that maybe are lacking for a better performance in a real world, in real situations?
I think everything about health, like health issues, how to live healthy in not just nutrition wise, also in social interactions, economical stuff, how to deal, not just how to deal, how to manage your money, everything.
I don't know, for instance, related when I started to work, I didn't know how to do my taxes, for instance, and we don't learn this at school.
Should there be like a, in your opinion, should there be a different curriculum in each neighborhood?
In Peru.
Worldwide.
Do you have an answer for this? Go for it.
I mean, I'd say no to some extent, right? And I think that it's this kind of the equity over equality thing. But again, I think that everyone has sort of a right to education. And if we start altering it based on where you are, then the question is kind of how much can we alter it, right? And which way do we alter it, and who decides on how we alter it? So while I think it's important to consider the fact that people come from very different backgrounds, and right, if you're in a small village, mountainous village, versus if you're in Lima, you're probably going to be interested in completely different things, have the time or the ability to commit to studies. You know, there's going to be a vast disparity, right? And the needs and the wants and the interests are completely different.
Wiser people tend to suffer more in this real world. What do you think?
It's crazy. Like, I feel so stupid in English, but I feel like, you know, Arthur Schopenhauer.
What? Oh no, I haven't heard of it.
I feel this question can be understood to go this kind of way. For me, it's like, of course, they have like a biological way. We're so far, it's like we feel boring, we're so far. And I feel these days we feel like a bit more suffering because we use a lot of social media, this kind of stuff. And sometimes people, you think they have more than stuff than us because it's like a reflection of yourself. So for me, it's more like your perception. It doesn't mean, I'm not saying people you don't have to get nothing to be happy, but sometimes if you work yourself, some skill to understand your perception, sometimes you can feel better. I know happiness is like a short time in your life, but you have to deal with that. You have to assume sometimes can be boring. You have to be comfortable this kind of moment, because I feel these days people want
instantaneous pleasure.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel it's not the good way.
Don't you think it would be better to teach students how to decipher maybe the ambiguous language that the politicians have to be ready for some situations?
Maybe, yes.
And why do you think these things are not taught at a conventional school?
I don't know. I think because the system has been working in this way for so long and it's hard to change it.
¿Cómo describirías un buen profesor?
Pucha, un buen profe es alguien que te impulsa a ser a ser mejor persona para un futuro, que te enseña, o sea, lo que tienes que saber y obviamente te impulsa a querer ser más grande, o sea, alguien en la vida.